Hi everyone, my name is Rowan. Thanks for checking out the video. Today we are going to be looking at the new Diamond Select Toph from Avatar The Last Airbender. Oh my goodness. I pre-ordered this back in February and it only just arrived at the warehouse retailer locally where I ordered it from. Just the day before the holiday weekend, I got a notice. So I literally just picked this up today, finally. And it's kind of a big deal. First of all, I love the show, Avatar. Who doesn't? But Toph is easily by far my favorite character. Like, whoever's second is a distant second, and I love them a lot. So just to give you an idea. So I was so excited that Diamond Select finally had this figure coming out. I remember back in the day when Avatar was on the air and Mattel was doing the action figures, they were still going by that old, I guess, inherited wisdom, like that, boys don't want a girl action figure and girls don't play with action figures. So they didn't make any of the characters that were women or girls into figures. They had Aang and Sokka. I think they had like Admiral Zhao. Like they had weird side characters. I think they had a Boomy one, but like they didn't have Katara, they didn't have Toph, they didn't have Suki, etc., etc. So many, right? I think so. These Diamond Select ones are great. This is the third wave, I believe. Let's see what the back of the box says. We have part of Series 3, as it says. We have Toph, and we have Ozai, who is looking very menacing. And in Series 1, we had Katara, Aang, and Zuko, and Series 2 was another Aang and Azula. So Diamond Select is definitely trying to make up for what Mattel did not do in the past. And we're going to see if this Toph figure, which you can see comes with a lot already, how this measures up to what we've been wanting for 15 years or whatever it is. I already have the Katara one, which I love and have on display, and I'll compare. But let's crack open this box and check out Toph finally. And here, fresh out the box, is Toph Beifong, the greatest earthbender of all time, and don't you dunderheads ever forget it. There she is, and she looks great. And she comes with a lot more than I expected, to be honest. First of all, before we get into her, let's just see what she comes with. She does come with 4 pairs of hands, 2 of which come on her, which are fists, as you can see. And there's also these kind of splayed hands. See if we can get kind of open hands. And then we get these. Also open, but with closed fingers, so you can really get some good dynamic. And finally, these were the ones I was worried about, and I'm still a little worried about, and I'll explain why. But up close, they look fantastic. These are hands with some earth that she is, in fact, in the middle of bending in a very cool way. The one thing I am worried about, which I'll say, is that up close these look great, but what I'm worried about is that I don't know if we'll see, because this is all new to me. It looks from far, like on display, right? It looks like she's holding like a poo, a little bit. I know it's supposed to be earth, and it does look like that from up close, but we'll see how it works in action. It also comes with this great stand, which has multiple joints and this point to attach to this hole in her back. And so it's on a ratchet joint or several ratchet joints, so it really can stay. But these are removable, so you can change. You change the length if you need to, but that also means if you're trying to use these ratchet joints, sometimes they'll just kind of pop off. But that's only if you want to use that, because you can remove this arm all together, and you can just peg her foot in. And I suspect this is what I'll be using just because she is more of an earth-based bender and more grounded, and there's no need for really like flying type poses in general with her. And we'll see her posability in a second. We also have this, I guess it's like earth being bent from her earth bending. You put that down. There's action. It's okay. The other Katara has a, like, this is just, some transparent plastic with some brown on it. It's not really what I would consider solid earth looking necessarily, but the sculpting is great. But it's just weird that it's kind of transparent. I get it when it's a fire for Zuko, or an air effect or a water effect or whatever, but an earth effect is, I don't know if transparent is right, but it's cool. It comes with it. If it bugs you, you can paint it, I guess. But my favorite accessory, which I had no reason to expect, is the Blind Bandit belt, the Earthbending Pro Earthbending Championship belt. So I'm trying to get a good zoom in on. There we go. Look how beautiful. What a cool addition. Now, it's not, as far as I can tell, a real belt. It has holes as if it were, but this is not a real latch. I wouldn't recommend bending this and trying to put it on her. It's, to hold over her head. We'll see if we can get it in a little pose. But I just adore that it came with this, and it's beautifully done. It's really gorgeous. It's a gorgeous little flexi belt. So now looking at Toph herself, get her off the stand. Let's see, she looks great. Looks fantastic. Face really looks like her. It's got her little expression. I would say that there's so many expressive hands that come with this that maybe they could have replaced this or shrunk it or something, since she already does have had the hand effect. She has these. Maybe they could have given her some extra faces, like a meaner face or a happier face or whatever. But if you have to go with one static face, I do prefer this. Here's the Katara. I love the Katara figure, but her face is so neutral. But at least you get a little more of the Toph personality from this, so that's great. Outfit is bang on, exact to the show. Exact. Even down to her little bare feet. Maybe they could have made this like dirty brown, like on the show, but that's fine. You're never going to see the bottom of her feet. All angles. Fantastic. What can she do? Usually this is right out of the box. I have not posed her. I have not moved any joints, except this moved a little when I tried to stand her up. So these Diamond Select, they're made out of kind of a tough PVC plastic. And when they come out of the box, they tend to be quite stiff. It's hard to tell what is supposed to be articulated and what isn't, but usually it is the head, of course. It does move up and down slightly, but definitely more left to right. You have waist rotation, so you can really get some dynamic poses. The arms go out, and they do a good, I don't want to scratch too much paint, so I'm not going to do acrobatic poses, but you can tell that this moves at the elbow. In my experience with these tiny Diamond Select arms, I would not recommend too much elbow bending. They do tend to they're super stiff now, but it takes only a few times, and they get very loose, almost come off sometimes. The skirt part, fantastic, really looks like some flowing fabric. We have legs move outwards, legs, I assume, move forwards. Yes, but again, you heard that noise. Sometimes these figures start out stiff. You kind of have to just move it a little. Thigh rotation, knee bend. It looks like maybe a double knee bend. Ankle rotation, and the feet can pivot. So I mean, it's everything you want, right? It's not this for such a small figure, like 4.5, 5 inches, whatever this is. It's in the 6-inch scale, but of course she's a 12-year-old kid, so she's not a full 6 inches. But let's see if we can get her into some cool poses with the accessories. So I just tried to get her into this kind of very rudimentary bending pose, and as you can see, yeah, I mean, that looks pretty cool. Let's see if we get her. Looks kind of like she's making her come up out of the ground. Now the wrists also move back and forth and rotate, and of course you can pop it out and replace it with one of the other hands. Let's see this hand. Just be careful doing this. They are a little delicate, but there we go. Get her in there. And no, okay, good. It doesn't look as bad as I expected. It looks like Earth. Thank goodness. But yeah, and we can have, let's see. We can take her other hand and replace it with open hand. And, you know, there's so many accessories, so many poses, so many things you could do that it really is. I mean, this was very cheap. I got it on pre-order, roughly $30, $35 Canadian, so even less American if you were to get it. Of course, that was a pre-order months in advance. There's no accounting for, I'm certainly unaware of, you know, the supply versus demand on this figure. I have no idea. I have no idea if this is being scalped. I have no idea what the prices are looking like online, but this was not expensive when I found it, nor was Katara when I got that. So again, just to compare her with Katara, and yeah, that looks great. It's like the show coming to life, you know? And as we saw, there's a few Aangs to choose from in this line as well. And we got Azula, Zuko, we got all, like, Sokka, I believe, is coming in the next wave. Whenever that is, next year, whenever. But if you want to almost complete your team avatar, you are almost there with these Diamond Select figures. I absolutely love this Toph figure. I am going to be displaying her with Katara on my shelf very, very proudly. And yeah, that's it from Toph Beifong, the greatest earthbender of all time, the inventor of metal bending, Toph Beifong. And Toph says, goodbye, dunderheads.